It's a job I recently did actually for Shop magazine. It was a cover design for their Istanbul issue, and it was really fun because I'd been to Turkey the year before and really liked their tile designs, and actually me and my girlfriend had bought a lot of tiles and brought them back with us. So when this job came around, I thought it'd be a nice chance to try and incorporate some of those designs and patterns that I really liked in the piece. So I chose a colour palette that was based on Turkish tiles, which is mainly involving turquoise, blues and reds. And then also the design itself, the waveforms I picked out were actually taken from a tile that we had in our bathroom. So it was really fun just being able to use inspirations that I'd found on holiday in the piece of work. And then actually creating a piece was really interesting. It was based on the palaces in Istanbul. So unlike a lot of scenes you see of Istanbul skylines, you know, based around the mosques and minarets, it was quite nice to try and do a piece which actually where the palaces were the main feature of it. And then just created this multi-layered piece. And also one nice thing about it was I tried to make the final palaces in a manner that I could actually keep them and display them, because a lot of the time with my work I'll make the layers and then after the piece is photographed it's all separate, so I just put it in bags and throw it in the corner. So it's quite nice actually having these final pieces I could frame and put on the wall, and recently showed them in an exhibition I had in Haggerston, which is exciting. So this is one of the palaces from the artwork, and as you can see it's made from a range of different layers, and this is how I tend to work with my paper cutting, whereby I use a range of layers to create the artwork, and then using bits of foam board and blue tack raise the artwork to try and give it some depth, creating interesting shadows. And then a lot of my designs I'll draw out first of all in Adobe Illustrator, just to get the artwork right. I'll then print out those layers onto the backs of sort of some A4 cut sheets of paper, and then cut them out and assemble them. And then I'll know that the mock-ups will look quite similar to the final artwork, which is quite good for working with clients, because it gives me a chance to show them how the artwork will look before I begin making, which as someone who works in this way, you don't want to be having to remake things constantly, because it will really set you back. I think it's a hard one. You do try and make it clear that that when you do these mock-ups, the final artwork is going to look very similar to that. But I don't think, maybe sometimes it's lost in translation, and so you show them the final piece, and then there's a bit of a uproar. They're sort of a bit worried about why it's gone down this route. So I try as much as possible to do a lot of planning before making, just to save everyone time, especially because deadlines tend to be quite tight. Timings were fairly tight. It was about a week and a half to make the piece, photograph it, edit it. But I think for editorial that's quite normal. You don't tend to get a lot of time with editorial, and so I've just had to find ways of working in my method that fits with editorial clients, because otherwise I wouldn't get that type of work. And so it's important for me just to shape my work and my working method so that it fits with different clients.